Welcome, everyone. Welcome to yet another match in this LaLiga season. This time we have Barcelona against Mallorca, a match in which Barcelona have a lot of players unavailable due to mainly COVID. And also, as we all know, the story along of this whole season is a lot of players that are injured right now. Both teams are already on the pitch. Right now, they'll hold a moment of silence for Miquel Barrelet, a very important figure in Mallorca. But I'll take you just a few minutes, just a few seconds to actually tell you how both teams will be playing. For Barcelona, in the goal, Marc-André Ter Stegen. In the defense, as left back, Oscar Mingueza, Eric Garcia, Gerard Piqué as center backs, and then Ronald Araujo basically as a right back. So defense of just center backs. And then in the middle of the field, we have Ricky Puig, Frenkie de Jong, and Nico Gonzalez. And in the attack, Ferran Jutla, a player who has been showing a lot of good things for this first team of Barcelona. Luke de Jong, the Dutch striker, and Ilias. On the side of Mallorca, we have Manolo Reina, Pablo Maffeo, Franco Russo, Valgent, and Jaume Costa in the defense. Baba and Bataglia are the middle of the field for them. Sanchez Rodriguez and Canguilin and Angel Rodriguez will be the players going up in front and into the attack for this Mallorca side. So as always, before we actually start, thank you all for tuning in. If you want to keep up to date with everything related to Barcelona, please be sure to check out this link down below, blaugranagram.com. We really do appreciate it. And as always, if you have any questions, any comments, please be sure to leave them in the comment section, and I'll go through them as we go. Right now, the match has already started. We have Barcelona, the team who actually got this first half started. Both best of luck for both teams. Let's hope that Barcelona can actually play really well, and let's hope that they can get away with a few points. As things stand right now, if Barcelona actually wins, they can actually jump all the way to the fifth position over Real Sociedad and Rayo Vallecano. So let's hope that this actually helps them to gain a very important objective for this season, that is getting into the Champions League position, so that they can actually have a little bit more of an economic injection. And as we all know, a club of the size of Barcelona can actually go without a season, without a Champions League. So let's hope that they can make that happen in this match. Right now, Barcelona has the ball. Ronald Araujo. Right now, Ronald Araujo is actually playing as a left back. I'm sorry, Oscar Mingueza, I think, possibly changed positions with him before the match. But Ronald Araujo will be playing the left back as Jordi Alba is out with COVID. Right now, Teddy Garcia, he plays it over to Ricky Puig. Also, let's remember that Gavi is out with a sanction due to seeing too many yellow cards in the last match. Well, last match he received a yellow card, and that was the one that didn't actually allow him to be present today for Mallorca. Let's hope that Barcelona don't actually miss him that much, but he is an important player, and let's hope that Ricky Puig can actually do it as well as Gavi has been doing it. Right now, it's going to be a throw-in this time by Maffeo on the right back. He throws it along. He's looking for Angel Rodriguez. He wins it, but now it's going to be a throw-in for Barcelona after a few deflections hit Dani Rodriguez. Right now, it's going to be a throw-in on the left through Ronald Araujo. Xavi Hernandez, the manager of Barcelona, he'll be hoping for his team to actually play as well as they have and continue to grow as a manager with the Cules. Right now, it's Nico Gonzalez. He plays it over to the left. Now he goes over to Gerard Piqué. Piqué looking to his right. He finds Ilias. He's looking for one of his teammates. He plays it back. Now it's with Nico. Right now it's Oscar Mingueza, the right back. He has to play it back once again with Nico. Nico plays it even further back, this time with Frenkie de Jong. Frenkie basically playing as the central midfielder for this match, as Busquets is not available for this match right now. Here comes Ferran Jutla. He's looking over. He goes with Luke de Jong. Now he's played back once again with Ronald Araujo after being pressured. Once again, Luke de Jong. He holds the position. Now he lays it off with Ferran Jutla. And now Jutla asking for a foul. None is given by Mateo Laos. And now Gerard Piqué, who opens up the pitch all the way to the right side. It's Ilias. Ilias cuts back into the middle. Here comes a good cross. It's one nevertheless by the defender of Mallorca closest to that position. Now it's Luke de Jong who's tossing it for the possession of the ball. Barcelona recovers really well, really quickly right now. It's Nico Gonzalez. He plays it over with Elias. Now Mingueza opens up really well. He plays it over to Elias. Elias going into space. He's trying to cut back. He was trying to get past quite a few players. He wasn't really able to. And now Baba opens up the pitch all the way to Maffeo. Nevertheless, Araujo wins the position really well and intercepts that ball really easily for Barcelona. So Barcelona, as expected, trying to play with the possession, trying to play with the ball at their feet and not really allow Mallorca. And Mallorca, I don't think is really that interested in having the possession, but rather going into the space as well and trying to break as quickly as they can once they do have the ball. Right now, it's Gerard Piqué who once again opens up the pitch to the right with Elias. Elias sees Nico going with that through run. Now he plays it back to Elias. Elias with a little bit of space. He cuts back into the middle. He's looking for one of his teammates. He goes with Ricky Puig. Now Elias once again, he finds Frenkie. He cuts back into the middle. He takes the shot. I'm sorry, it wasn't Frenkie. I'm sorry, it was Luc de Jong. But at the end, the shot was just horrific. It's going to be a throw-in for Mallorca. He was basically on the edge of the pitch. I thought he was going to take it with his left side, but I'm not quite sure what happened. And his shot just went all the way to the throw-in on the other side of the pitch. It's now at the hands of Pablo Maffeo, the right back. He'll be looking to send his team up front and not just play it close to their own box. Here comes the long throw-in. He goes over to Dani Rodriguez. But Frenkie de Jong dispossesses him really well. Now it's Luc de Jong. Luc de Jong loses the ball. Once again, Frenkie wins it somehow. Now it's Elias and Mingueza who are trying to win the ball back after, I believe, Canguilí was in a bit of a tussle. In the end, it is a foul in favor of Mallorca after both Elias and Mingueza, I think, tripped him up a little bit. I'm not quite sure who it was. I think it was Antonio Sanchez in the end. It wasn't Canguilí, but Antonio Sanchez, the one who was trying to defend that position for Mallorca. And so the first foul of the match, as we have reached the 5-minute mark, right now it's Baba who is being pressured by Ricky Puig. In the end, he gives away a very terrible pass after the high pressure of the Spanish midfielder. And now will be a throw-in for Barcelona, this time through the hands of Ronald Araujo, the left back for this match. He goes short over to Ricky Puig. Now Ricky plays all the way over to Eddie Garcia. And now Garcia plays it with his partner in crime for this match, Gerard Piqué. Once again, Ricky Puig. He plays it all the way back to Piqué yet again. He has a little bit of time and space. He goes up front with Nico. Now Mingueza. Once again, Nico Gonzalez. Frenkie de Jong. De Jong plays it once again to the right with Nico. Nico playing with a little bit of space in front of him. He goes over to Elias. Elias cuts back into the middle in front of a player. And now he does draw a foul. The first foul in favor of Barcelona. It isn't quite that close to the edge of the box. I think it was Jaume Costa, the player who tripped up Elias. Yes, it was Jaume Costa. The left back for Mallorca was trying to track him down a little bit, and then he simply tripped him up a little bit. So it isn't quite that close to the edge of the box for a player to actually take it, especially taking into consideration that no real specialist for the free kicks is playing this match for Barcelona. Depay is out. Ousmane Dembélé isn't in the team as well. So a lot of players not really being able to, can be considered a specialist for this free kick. We'll see what they decide to do. Two players are getting ready to actually take this free kick. I think it's Gerard Piqué, and I believe it's also Elias, the other player who's getting ready. Ronald Araujo will be one of the players to actually keep an eye on because he is a player who has a lot of awareness in front of goal, 28 meters away. As I said before, Gerard Piqué and Elias, the two players who are actually getting ready to take this. We'll see which one of the two will actually be the one elected. There goes the whistle. Here comes, I think it's Gerard Piqué. Piqué takes it directly in a good shot, but it goes just a little bit wide of the second post of Mallorca. Nevertheless, I think Manolo Reina was all over it. But it was a good attempt. I think a little bit of a surprise. It went just a little bit wide of the wall set up by the goalkeeper of Mallorca, and a little bit wide of the post of Manolo Reina. So a good attempt, good little bit surprise, I think, by Gerard Piqué. Nevertheless, let's hope they can keep this momentum up for Barcelona. Right now, it's Jaume Costa who has the ball. He has a lot of space in front of him. He goes up. He's moving up the pitch. Nobody goes out to really meet him. He finally has to play it over to Canguilí. Canguilí plays it back once again. This time it's with Bataglia. Bataglia goes even further back this time with Valschent. And now it's Russo. Russo looking for one of his teammates for a long pass. I think he found somehow Dani Rodriguez. He had a bit of a touch on the ball with his head, but it fell to the safe hands of Marcandete Stegen. And now it's once again it's Eddie Garcia who has the ball. As I said before, Barcelona are really more interested in having the possession of the ball. And right now, I can actually see very clear the formation of Mallorca. There's a 4-4-1-1 or 4-4-2-2 at times. And they'll simply just allow Barcelona to have the ball, I think, in the middle of the field. But once they get to a certain point, all the lines of defense of Mallorca will be triggered to actually set a high tempo of pressure. Right now, it's Manolo Reina who is being pressured by Luke de Jong a little bit. He goes over to the left with Valgent. Now Valgent trying to go really, really long. In the end, it's Gerard Piqué who wins the header. And once again, Gerard Piqué wins the second header. And right now, it falls to the feet of Baba, who gets away really well from the pressure of Jutla. Now he is being dispossessed, but one of his teammates bails him out really well. But right now, once again, Barcelona applying pressure once they lose it, and they win it back yet again. Right now, it's Baba. He's trying to pressure Ricky Puig. Puig goes back to Araujo, and Araujo opens up the pitch all the way to the other side to Mingueza, who plays a little bit of a compromise ball, but somehow he wins it back. He finds Elias. Elias going into the cutback. Now a good shot, but this time Manolo Reina saves it really well. I think it wasn't the most uncomfortable shots by Elias, but Manolo Reina still handled it really well. It was, I think, it was a shot with a little bit of tension to it because it just bounced before it arrived to the hands of Manuel Reina. But it will be a corner kick for Barcelona, the first one of the match. This time, I think it's Frenkie de Jong, the player, who will be the one to take it. And let's see if he can find one of his taller teammates. Here comes the cross. It's going to the head of one of the players of Barcelona. Nevertheless, nobody's really able to have a little bit of a contact on it. And then it falls to another player of Barcelona who hits it. It's Ricky Puig who hit it, but it goes just a little bit too high of the goal of Manolo Reina. A good attempt by Ricky to actually finish the play, not even allow for a possible counterattack by Mallorca. So Barcelona so far playing well, I think. Not the brightest possibly, but nevertheless, they aren't really allowing Mallorca to have any sort of danger on the goal of Ter Stegen. And they aren't even really allowing Mallorca to break into space when they have the opportunity. Right now, it's a throw in for Mallorca, this time through the left side, this time with Jaume Acosta. He goes over to Canguilin. Now he finds Angel Rodriguez. I think he's being fouled. The referee doesn't give a single foul. Now it's at the feet of Ronald Araujo. Now it's Frenkie de Jong. He plays it over to Luke de Jong. Now Ricky Puig. He plays it to the left with Jutla. Jutla so far not being that participative. That he hasn't really been cooperating that much. Nevertheless, let's see if he can really pick it up. Renan Suscami gets on the right. He plays it over to Frenkie. One thing I do want to say is that so far the movement off the ball by Barcelona has been impressive. Everybody's moving a lot. They're allowing players to always have a clear pass in a pocket of space. So I think that's something that really has to be recognized for this Xavi team. Renan Mingueza with a good cross. He's going to the second post. I don't think really anyone's going to have a little bit of a touch on it. Finally, Pablo Maffeo decides to get rid of it. Now he's in a tussle against Luke de Jong, but this time the left back does win it for his team. And now once again, Barcelona trying to apply a high set of pressure. Babao plays it over to Maffeo yet again, and now Maffeo does lose it. Now Jutla decides to play it all the way back to Ter Stegen to have a little bit more of patience and have a little bit more of time to build up this play. But so far, as I said before, the movement off the ball by this Barcelona team has been incredible. Right now, it's a long pass for Ricky Puig by Gerard Piqué. And Ricky almost managed to get to it. It was a good pass, but just a little bit lacking the accuracy. Had Ricky got to that, he would have been in a 1v1 against Manolo Reina. But nevertheless, the goalkeeper of Mallorca did read it really well. And now he plays it to his left back, Jaume Acosta. Now he goes over to Canguilin. And now Canguilin finding Angel Rodriguez on the edge of the offside. He is finally deemed offside. Nevertheless, it did seem as if he was onside for just a second. And those are the kind of plays that actually Barcelona have to be careful of, because Angel Rodriguez can be really dangerous on the break, and he can play really well on the backs of both Gerard Piqué and and Eddie Garcia. Right now, Garcia plays it through the left. He finds Jutla. Now Jutla goes all the way back once again to Marc-André Ter Stegen. And Ter Stegen tries to play once again with Jutla. This time it's being a little bit of a tussle between Luc de Jong and one of the defenders. Finally, Luc de Jong goes down on the ground after being contacted with the head by the defender. I think it was Franco Russo. And he is down on the ground, and a foul is given in favor of the Dutch striker. And right now, Mateo Laos is having a word with the manager of Mallorca, who was really emphatic in saying that no foul should have been given. But I think Luc de Jong did have a little bit of preference on that ball, and Russo finally contacted him, trying to win it. So it will be a foul in favor of Barcelona. Right now, Enrique, who takes it, he plays it back to Araujo, and now even further back with Garcia. Now Gerard Piqué on the right. He's looking for one of his teammates. He finds Luc de Jong, who is trying to really cooperate a lot with his team and trying to link up. So far, he has been able to do so. Right now, Jutla, who almost got away really well from Pablo Maffeo, I'm sorry. He was almost able to get away from him. And now a foul for Mallorca. I think it was on Nkangili, who is grabbing his left foot with clearly a lot of pain. And we'll see if it's a little bit, if it isn't something too serious. A little bit of a contact on this foot by Ronald Araujo. No intention to it, I think. But nevertheless, it was a foul in favor of Mallorca. So far, almost 50 minutes have been played in this first match of this new year, 2022. Hope all of you that are tuning in had a really good time with your families and with all your loved ones. For those that can actually be with their loved ones, let's hope that you actually have a good time and this year shape up in a very positive manner for all of you. Thank you all for tuning in as always. Right now, Barcelona still drawing 0-0 at the 15-minute mark against Mallorca. So far, they have been playing really well. Right now, it's Mallorca who is trying to go into the attack. But this time, Angel Rodriguez, I think, controlled a pass that was going to him with his hand. And so it is deemed handball. But looking back at the replay, I think he actually controlled it fairly with his chest. And so it is it is a free kick for Barcelona near their own box after a handball given by Mateos against Angel Rodriguez. Right now, Gerard Piqué. Piqué playing back over to Ter Stegen. And now Ter Stegen having a lot of time. Nobody's really coming up to pressuring him. Now it's once again Frankie almost being dispossessed, but somehow he gets away really well from the attack. And now once again Nico somehow a little bit of luck wins the ball back for his team. Now he plays it over to Jutla on the left. He plays it back to Ricky with a good chance. He cuts back. He's looking for one of his teammates. He opens up all the way to the right side with Mingueza. Mingueza plays it back with Ilias, and right now the surprise has vanished a little bit. Nevertheless, Barcelona still has a possession. Right now it's Ricky going back to Araujo. Araujo plays it with Ferran just on the edge of the box. He's inside of the box. He takes a good shot. He was looking for the far post, but it's just a little bit too wide of the post. Manolo Reina, I think, read it all the way, and Pablo Maffeo was all over the attacker of Barcelona. Nevertheless, he did somehow get the shot off, and it was a good set of possession for Barcelona and good set of quick passes trying to go and get into the right attack to actually have that shot. Reynolds it's Valgen. Now he goes long. He was trying to go over, I think, a lot of the heads of the players of Barcelona, but Gerard Piqué wins the header. The player of Mallorca is still down on the ground. They're asking for the ball to actually leave the pitch. He finally gets up. Right now it's Ilias, who is being pressured by Pablo Maffeo. He's using his physicality to try to get away from the right back. He finally plays it back to Gerard Piqué with a safe pass. Now Mingueza has a little bit of time. He plays it over to Frankie. Frankie with a safe pass over to Nico. Now Nico plays it back once again to Mingueza. And now I'm not quite sure, but another player of Mallorca is down on the ground. This time I think Nico, I'm not quite sure what happened because Nico had actually the possession of the ball. And then the player of Mallorca actually went down on the ground, but I'm not quite sure what the instruction was. I think Nico actually played it, but somehow contacted Dani Rodriguez, the number 14 of Mallorca. And so a little bit of a tussle between quite a few players of Barcelona and Mallorca. I think in the end, it will be a foul in favor of of the home side. And Mallorca finally get the ball rolling once again, this time with Franco Russo. He plays it back over to Pablo Maffeo. Maffeo looking for Kangin Lee. He's trying to get away from Ronald Araujo. He finally plays it to the middle with Dani Rodriguez. Now Dani Rodriguez trying to get away from quite a few players, but he isn't really able to. Nevertheless, he does win a throw-in for his side. And so far, I think Barcelona and Mallorca have been playing really well so far, as we almost edged the 20-minute mark. And well, let's see what this game has in store for us. Right now, it's Pablo Maffeo who cuts back into the middle. He's trying to get away from quite a few players, but the pressure of Barcelona yet again wins them the ball back. This time it's Ilias. He's trying to get away from two players. He is found finally. It was both Baba and I think Antonio Sanchez, the players who were trying to catch up to Ilias, and finally fouled him. Looking really quickly to the comment section, we have Jay Greger, who says Happy New Year to you too. Thank you so much, Jay. And well, thank you all for your interactions. And if you have any comments, any questions, please be sure to leave them, and I'll be going through them as we go. Right now, it's Frenkie Young who has the ball inside of his own half. He plays it over to Eddie Garcia, and he was being pressured by Kangin Lee. He gave away the ball. Right now, Nico Gonzalez, who wins it back for his side, but somehow Nico wins a foul against Idrisu Baba. And a lot of tussle right now in the middle of the field. Neither of both sides have been really, have had a clear chance in these past few minutes in front of goal. Jutla was the final player of Barcelona to actually have a little bit of a clear shot off against Manolo Reina. But right now, neither of the both sides have been really able to create a dangerous play for them. Right now, it's once again Barcelona. They're trying to go through the right side. Right now is Frenkie Young. He has to play it back over to Nico Gonzalez. And now Mingueza. Mingueza on the right side. He plays it to the middle of the field with Luke de Jong. Once again, Mingueza. Mingueza having a little bit of time and space. He hasn't really clear what he wants to do. He finds Ilias with a really good through pass. And now Ilias has a little bit deflection on it. And it will be a corner kick for Barcelona. So an incredible pass by Mingueza in between the lines for Ilias, and Ilias almost got off a really good cross. Nevertheless, he wasn't able to do as Jaume Costa was tracking him down. So the second corner kick of the match for Barcelona, and here it comes. It goes to the second post as well. It's Eddie Garcia who almost has a touch on it, and I'm not quite sure what happened. I think the ball actually left the pitch after the corner kick was taken, and it will be a goal kick for Manolo Reina. Manolo Reina taking his time. He's trying to waste as much time as he can. He finally gets the ball back in play. He goes over to Franco Russo, and now he is being pressured by Luke de Jong. He finally has to get it away. Kangin Lee in an aerial duel against Ronald Araujo, the clear person who was actually victorious, and that was Ronald Araujo. And right now, once again, Manolo Reina has the ball on his feet. He's looking for his options. He has to his right Franco Russo. Let's see if he does. Yes, he does go to him. And now Russo has a little bit of time and space. He decides to go long yet again. But once again, Gerard Piqué is all over those long passes right now. Right now, Eddie Garcia gave the ball away after a deflection on Kangin Lee. Now a good cross by Angel, but nobody was really there to have a little bit of a touch on it. Finally, Elias plays it back to Ter Stegen. Ter Stegen simply decides to get it away as far away as he can from his own goal. And a little bit of a dangerous play by both Barcelona and Mallorca. Right now, it's Antonio Sanchez. He has to play it back to Baba. Baba goes to Russo, the center back, and now he finds Kangin Lee between the lines. Kangin Lee, he's trying to get away. He's dispossessed by Frenkie Young. And now both Frenkie and Jutla get a little bit of a mix-up because they didn't really communicate. And now both of them lose the ball to a player of Mallorca. Right now is Bataglia. Bataglia going up the pitch. He's not really being pressured or met by anyone. He finally is fouled by Nico Gonzalez. Let's see if Nico doesn't see the first yellow card of the match. Nico has to be a little bit more... he has to be smarter because he does give away a lot of fouls, and sometimes it just costs him to see a yellow card really early in the game, and then just really put him on eggshells. Right now, it's I think I'm not quite sure who the player Mallorca was who took that free kick really quickly. He was trying to look for Kangin Lee, but Jude Law simply was just in front of him to actually win it. As we look really quick to the stats, 75% possession for Barcelona against 35 by Mallorca. So far, as I said before, Barcelona having the bulk of the possession. Mallorca aren't really interested in having that much of it, but they will be interested in trying to get quickly on the break and try to go into the counterattack against this Barcelona defense. Right now, yet again, it's a foul. It was a foul against Frenkie de Jong. Six fouls by both sides. Um, right now, Barcelona once again getting the ball into rolling quickly. Nico Gonzalez plays it once again. Once again, Nico commits a foul after trying to pass the ball. Now he is having quite a few words with Mateo Laos. Nico clearly not happy with it, but I'm not quite sure what happens because I think Nico simply doesn't control the ball as well in the short distance. He allows it to get a little bit too away from him, and then he stretches his leg and then commits a little bit of a foul. So far, three fouls by Nico Gonzalez, and well, he has to be really careful in not seeing the yellow card. Right now, once again, Russo, he plays it to the right with Pablo Maffeo. Maffeo plays it once again with Russo. Russo having a lot of time. He finally decides to go back to Manuel Reina, his goalkeeper. And now he isn't really being pressured this time by anyone. Luke de Jong is just a little bit looking at him, but he's not really applying any sort of pressure. Once again, an aerial duel won by Ronald Araujo. And right now, a little bit of turbulence by both sides. Neither of them really being able to have control of the ball and or even really create that much of a chance against the other side. So let's hope that both sides can actually have a little bit more of a clearer match, and well, let's hope that they can actually keep this up. Right now, it's Ilias. He opens up to the right with Oscar Mingueza. Mingueza plays it back once again to the middle of the field. He plays it even further back with Frenkie. Now Frenkie plays it with Nico. Nico with Garcia. And now he opens up the pitch all the way to the left side. Now Jutla looking for one of his teammates for a good cross. He's finally sent across. He almost found Ilias, but the defense of Mallorca was all over that cross. Yet another cross, but this time Ilias can't really even reach the header. And right now, Mallorca trying to break quickly into the counterattack. Both Mingueza and Frenkie de Jong were trying to win the ball back. Finally, a player of Mallorca on the left side trying to break into a counterattack quickly. Nico Gonzalez wins it back really well for his team. He goes back he goes through two players. Now Ricky Puig is fouled by Boa. So a little bit of a turbulence by Mallorca, simply fouling a lot of players of Barcelona, and the ball and the play simply continuing. Right now, good cross, but it doesn't even reach Luke de Jong. And right now, once again, a little bit of turbulence by both sides, as a foul against Gerard Piqué. Mateo Laos had allowed the play to continue on, but I'm not quite sure what Mateo Laos is giving right now. I thought Angel Rodriguez had committed a little bit of a foul against Gerard Piqué, but right now the referee is actually giving the indication that a handball was played. I'm not quite sure at what point of the match or the play this actually happened. Right now, Cedi Garcia, he has a bit of space in front of him, he attacks it really well. Now it's Nico. Nico opens up the pitch to the right with Mingueza. Once again, Nico. Now Ilias, he plays it back to Frenkie. Frenkie, a little bit of an acrobatic move to actually still control that ball. Right now it's Ilias. He links up with Luke de Jong, and Luke de Jong simply gives it away really badly. And right now, once again, Mallorca was trying to go into the counterattack really quickly, but no real accuracy to that pass. And now a long pass by Gerard Piqué for Ronald Araujo, who wins the header really well. And now Jutla, who somehow wins it, and it's taken away by Ricky Puig. Once again, Jutla in a good possession. He finds Luke de Jong. Luke de Jong has a bit of a touch on it. He hits the post, and unlucky by Luke De Jong. I'm not quite sure how he actually reached it. He simply dived and tried to have a bit of a contact on it after an incredible pass by Jutla between the lines, and then Luke De Jong almost scored a goal for Barcelona, and he hit the post. Unlucky for the Dutch striker, but a good set of plays and passes by Barcelona in these past few minutes. And well, let's hope that they can keep this up. Right now, Ricky Push once again, who has a ball, he cuts back into the middle. He finds all the way to the right Elias. Elias cuts back into the middle. Also, he finds Ricky. Now Nico, he cuts back to his right. He has quite a few players. He plays it over to Mingueza. Mingueza sends across. It's in the direction of Luke De Jong. Luke De Jong hits it with an incredible over the head volley, and he hits the crossbar. So Luke De Jong has hit the post and the crossbar in the past, I think, 2 minutes. So an incredible so far display by Luke De Jong. Almost a really good chance to actually score 2 goals. And right now, Luke De Jong has hit the post and the crossbar. Yet another long pass, this time by Gerard Piqué. He finds Chutla. Now Ricky has been an incredible component to this side so far in this match. He's been playing all over the pitch, and he's really opening up the pitch for Barcelona when all the other options are simply just not there. As I look back at the replay of the over the head volley by Luke De Jong, he hit it really well. And Manolo Reina simply was trying to react to it, but it was simply too strong and too quick for it, and he hit the crossbar. It was going to be one of the best goals possibly of his career for Luke De Jong, but he wasn't able to really. I think he wasn't that lucky enough to actually score the goal. Right now, it's Manolo Reina who will be the one to get this ball rolling yet again. He sends his team on a long pass. It falls to the feet of Canguili after a few deflection. Canguili trying to get away from quite a few players, and it is a foul this time by Ricky Push. Ricky fouled Canguili by his back, and it will be a good position for Mallorca to actually have a little bit more of danger against this Cules side. Kanji was really smart to actually use his physicality to provoke the foul by Ricky Push, and well, let's see what Mallorca has in mind to actually take this free kick. It isn't really that close to the edge of the box, but I'll tell you just in a few seconds just what the distance is exactly, and let's hope that Ter Stegen and the whole defense of Barcelona is on their toes to actually to react to whatever surprise or to whatever plan Mallorca has. It seems as if Kanji Lee will be the player to take it, and I think he'll be looking to take it in a direct shot. It's just 23 meters away from goal, and the wall is it's Araujo, Piqué, and Luc De Jong. And there goes the whistle. Here comes Kanjili. He takes it directly. He doesn't even get through the wall. And now another cross by Mallorca. This time, Oscar Mingueza has a bit of a touch on it with his head, and it will be a throw-in for Mallorca on the left side. So an almost good opportunity for Mallorca to get on the scoreboard, but nevertheless, they weren't really lucky enough, or Kanjili wasn't really lucky enough to have his shot go over the wall. Right now, it's a throw-in on the left side. It's Jaume Costa, the player, who's getting ready to take it. He's taking his time. He's looking for one of his options. He finally goes long. It's won by Frenkie. Now it's Daniel Rodriguez. He gets back. He gets away from quite a few players, but right now Nico Gonzalez who wins it, and I think he wins a goal kick. No, it is a free. It is a corner kick. I'm sorry, for Mallorca. It seems as if Nico had won a goal kick for his side after a bit of deflection with Sanchez, but I'm not even quite sure who was the final player to have a touch on it. And so I think it will be the first corner kick for Mallorca, and let's hope that Barcelona can actually contain them really well. Here comes the cross. This time it's Frenkie who simply gets it away as really easily. And now Idrisu Baba was trying to hit it on the volley, and he did hit it, but it fell really safely to the hands of Marcadete Stegen. Right now it's Fenke who's trying to get away from the pressure of Dani Rodriguez. Now he has to play it back to Eddie Garcia. And now Ricky, who plays it back even further to Ter Stegen. And once again, Eddie Garcia. So far, 33 minutes have been played of this match. So far, 0-0 still. Barcelona, well, basically, Luke de Jong has hit twice, once the post and another the crossbar in an incredible and acrobatic attempt. But so far, I think Barcelona has been playing well, but Mallorca has been up to the task defensively. So far, offensively, Mallorca hasn't really shown anything. Right now, they were try to go once again quickly into the counterattack, but they weren't really able to do so. And right now, it's once again Frenkie de Jong. He plays it to the left side with Eric Garcia. Now, once again, Nico. Nico plays it back to Eric yet again. Now it's Elias. He plays it over to Frenkie. Once again, Elias. He opens up the pitch in direction of Mingueza. Once again, Elias. He cuts back into the middle. He's trying to get away from the pressure of Baba. He finally has to play yet again with Mingueza. Mingueza opens up the pitch in direction of Nico, who was with a really good cross and with a really good run. And now he sends in a cross, but Luke de Jong wasn't in target, but it didn't even reach the Dutch attacker, as it did hit the first defender in front of him. Right now, right now, right now it will be a throw-in for Mallorca on the left side, as we do see Pablo Maffeo right now looking to get up the pitch. He was trying to send one of his teammates into a good position to actually be in a 1v1. I think he was trying to find Rodriguez, but it was simply too long, that pass. And so it will be a goal kick for Barcelona. And right now it's Eric Garcia who has the ball. He's looking for one of his teammates. He opens up the pitch to Luke de Jong. And Luke de Jong this time loses the ball in a compromised situation. I think this time it's Angel Rodriguez who sends one of his teammates into a good position. And I'm not quite sure. I think it was Jaume Costa who was trying to send in a good cross. And I think it hit Frenkie de Jong in his intimate parts. And right now, Frenkie de Jong is down on the ground, clearly in pain. And it did hit him in quite in a spot that actually hurts a lot to receive one of those crosses. Right now, well, as I was saying before, Barcelona hasn't played poorly. They've been playing well, but so far I think Mallorca simply has been playing better defensively. And well, also we have to say that Luke de Jong hasn't really been lucky enough to actually see one of his two shots go into the net. And let's hope that Barcelona can keep up the momentum and keep creating these kind of opportunities. Right now, it's once again Barcelona who wins a header. And right now, I think it's Antonio Sanchez who is trying to win a corner for his team. And right now, I'm not quite sure, a bit of confusion. Finally, Mateo Laos does give a corner kick for Mallorca. And so I think it's the second corner kick in the match so far for Mallorca, 2 for each side. But so far, Barcelona has been defending really well in the aerial duels, and let's hope that this can continue. Right now, Barcelona yet again wins the aerial. Finally, the clearance comes through Nico Gonzalez, but it will be yet again another throw-in on the left side, once again with Jaume Acosta. He goes over to Dani Rodriguez. He cuts back into the middle. He's looking for one of his teammates. He finally has to go back to Baba. Now he opens up the pitch all the way to Pablo Maffeo. He has a little bit of space in front of him. He finally decides to cut back. He's being chased a little bit by Enrique. And now he goes back to Franco Russo. And he goes over to Valgent. Once again, Russo being pressured. But somehow he wins. He finds and successfully finds one of his teammates. And now it's Jaume Acosta with a good cross, almost. But it was simply cleared and intercepted by by Gerard Piqué. Right now, a lot of physical tussle between a lot of players of both sides. And right now is once again Luke de Jong who's trying to pressure Baba and trying to win the ball back. He finally has to go back all the way to his goalkeeper Manolo Reina, and he in turn plays it over to Franco Russo. Right now, Mallorca really trying to go into the attack. They're not really even playing defensively anymore. They're trying to go straight out attack against this Barcelona defense and the midfield, as they know that they can really create danger against the Cules. Once again, Jaume Costa. He goes long. He's trying to find, I think, Angel Rodriguez, but it just leaves the pitch, and it will be a throw in on the right side for Barcelona. A little bit of so far. Well, right now in the past few minutes, Barcelona have lost a little bit more of control of the game and of the ball, and they've allowed Mallorca to actually continue to grow. Right now, it's Eddie Garcia who gave the ball away, but it was won back by Nico Gonzalez, who was being tackled by Baba. Right now, Eddie Garcia trying to use his physicality to win the ball back. He finally gives away a foul, I think, against Antonio Sanchez. Eddie Garcia simply, I think he was trying to avoid a quick counter attack, and I think he was successful because he didn't really even allow the attacker of Mallorca to get into a position to send a good long pass or even to get through him. Right now, it's Frenkie. He plays it to the right with Mingueza, and now Piqué. Once again, Eddie Garcia. And as I said before, right now Mallorca once again goes into their defensive mode, and they're not really interested anymore in going to the attack. Right now, it's a handball by Kangili after Jutla was trying to trying to get a high pass off, and it hit the hand of Kangili, and so it will be a free kick for the Cules. We have reached the 40-minute mark, and so far, Barcelona playing well, Mallorca as well. Let's see what the final 5 minutes of the match of this first half have in store for us. Right now, it's Frenkie Young who is getting ready to send a cross. And here it comes. He's looking for one of his taller teammates, and he almost found, I think, Gerard Piqué. But right now, Mallorca, they won the ball back, and now they're trying to go into the counterattack quickly. And now they're trying to find Kangili all the way to the right side. He heads in the direction of Angel Rodriguez, and now he is being fouled by, I think, Oscar Mingueza, who is trying to track him down, and he simply hit him on his left leg, and so it will be yet another free kick. Not that close to the edge of the box yet again, but nevertheless, it is a good position for Mallorca to try to win the advantage on these type of tactical plays. It's once again Kangili, the player who's getting ready to take it. We'll see if he will be the final player to actually take it, or who will be the player to actually be in charge of it. But it does look Kangili to be the sole player in charge of this. Let's see if he decides to go once again straight for a shot. Here comes Kangili. He does take a direct shot to it, but once again, it falls to the safe hand of Ter Stegen, who simply had to pick it up after it was a very faulty pass. Faulty shot off by the Korean attacker. Right now, it's Ricky Push who gave a very, very poor pass and something that you rarely see by the Spanish midfielder. He was trying to find Ronald Araujo, but in the end, he lost it. But right now, he wins it back after a tussle with Kangili. He opens up the pitch to the direction of Mingueza. Now it's Jutla. Jutla and Elias have changed their sides on the pitch. I think trying to surprise a little bit the opposing defense. Right now, Seni Garcia, he plays it to the right with Gerard Piqué. Piqué plays it back to Eddie Garcia yet again. Now Ricky. Ricky cuts back into the middle. He finds Frankie. Frankie trying to find one of his teammates. He finally finds Jutla. Jutla, I think, went back to his original position right now. And Elias, well, Jutla on the left and Elias on the right. Right now it's Garcia. He's looking for a long pass and he decides to go for it, but I think it's just a little bit inaccurate. But somehow Mingueza wins it and keeps it for Barcelona. He plays it back to Piqué. Once again, Garcia finds Ricky. Ricky with De Jong. Now Jutla on the edge of the box. He gets away from Pablo Maffeo. Now he has to play it back once again to Ricky. Ricky plays it all the way to the right side with Mingueza. Mingueza looking for a cross, and he does send it, and it's won by a player. I think it's Luke De Jong, and Luke De Jong with a good header for Barcelona. It's a goal for Barcelona through Luke De Jong and a header by the Dutch attacker. So a goal for Luke De Jong, an incredible cross by Mingueza all the way to the second post. Manolo Reina couldn't really react to it, and these are those types of goals that are psychological, as it's almost the middle. The halftime mark. Right now, Gerard Piqué is giving the education to his teammates to be smart. But an incredible cross by Mingueza looking to the second post. It was either Luke De Jong or Ronald Araujo to actually head it, but the Dutch attacker arrived first, and Manolo Reina slipped. I didn't really see it at first glance, but Manolo Reina simply slipped very horribly, and that's why he couldn't even react to it well. So he was down on the ground when Luc de Jong simply had to head it, and it was an open chance. Nobody really in front of him, and he was all alone. So a really good goal for Luc de Jong and for the Blaugrana cause. Right now, 45 minutes have been reached, and Matelos does give the indication of the halftime. So Luke de Jong scored a goal just before the halftime mark. And as I said before, these are the kind of goals that actually help a lot the team because they do send him in a really good vibe and a really good mood for the second half. Right now, Xavi has to tell his players to actually be smart and not commit any more fouls in front of their own box. Just be smart and control the ball and defend themselves with the ball. As always, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for being here. If you want to know more about what we do in this channel, please be sure to check out this link down below, blaugranagram.com. And also, please submit your comments and questions. As I look really quickly, we have another one by Jay. Yes, third time is charm for Luke De Jong. Yes, third time is a charm for Luke De Jong. He wasn't really having the best match, but well, he did hit the crossbar and he did hit the post. So I think you're right. The third time is the charm. I'll be back in a few minutes. I'm going to take a quick break, but I'll be back for the second half reaction. And let's hope the Barcelona can actually tie this up and go home with a win and the first match of this new year, 2022. As always, if you didn't hear me before, hope you had a good time with your families or with your loved ones. And let's hope that this is the best year for all of you guys. Thank you all for tuning in, and I'll be back in just a few minutes.
by the media, by fans. They did not want to hear it. But we moved on.
Welcome back to this match between Barcelona and Mallorca. This match in which Barcelona is leading 1-0 thanks to Luke de Jong and his incredible efforts. And I'm pleased to bring back my partner in crime, Oliver Dominguez, for the second half. Oliver, how are you? How have you been? Long time no see.
Hello. Very good. Thank you. Happy New Year to you and to all listeners and audience. And how have you been?
I've been good, thank you as well. Happy New Year. Hope the best for you throughout this whole year. All the best wishes. And well, right now the first hope is to actually see Barcelona win this game and go with 3 points back to Barcelona.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a surprising lead because there's so many absences tonight. But yeah, the team is playing quite a decent game given the circumstances. And even Luke de Jong is probably playing the best game we've seen him play for Barca. Probably since he didn't score many goals in Sevilla, it's probably one of the best games he's played in Spain.
Yep, I was actually saying in the first half that I think Luke de Jong possibly would have scored one of his best goals in his career had it over the head volley got in. But well, he wasn't lucky. Nevertheless, he did score that header basically in the final minute of the first half. And right now, the second half is actually underway. Mallorca was the team to get this second half underway. All the best of luck for both sides. Best of luck for Barcelona and Mallorca. Oliver, what would you say that is expected from the second half? Same sort of dynamics from both sides, or Barcelona trying to control a bit more the dynamics of it?
Actually, I suppose it's gonna be a bit of a push for from Mallorca at some point. They know they might have like the best chance they're ever gonna get some points versus Barcelona because this is crazy statistics that Barcelona have won. I think it's 12 of the last 11 visits in Somos, and the only one we lost was in 2009 2010 when when Barcelona was already mathematically the league champion and were like a few days away from playing the cup final and the Champions League final. So Guardiola was his first year, played like well rotated essentially the whole team. So that was a bit. I mean, that was of course a defeat, but it's a bit question mark there.
Well, let's hope that.
All the other visits of Barcelona and Mallorca have been victories for the Catalan team. So it's probably literally the best chance Mallorca is going to have to get some points versus Barcelona.
Yep. Let's hope that Barcelona can keep controlling the tempo of the match because I think throughout the first half they did control really well the tempo. They controlled basically the possession of the ball for the bulk of the first half. Let's hope that it happens as well in the second half. And right now, actually, as you were giving us that really interesting stat, Barcelona does have a free kick, basically just on the edge of the pitch. Frankie Young will be the player to take it, but he will be looking for one of those taller teammates inside of the box. Here comes across, and it's I think it was Rodarojo who almost had a little bit of a touch in it, and it will be a corner kick for Barcelona. So something that for quite a few years was something that you didn't actually see in Barcelona, goals being scored through headers is something that could actually be more relatable to now for the Blaugranas. As we see yet again another corner kick for Barcelona. Here comes across, and it was almost won by Gerard Piqué. But right now, I think Mateo Laos is giving a foul in favor of Mallorca, and it will be a free kick for the local side. Right now, it's Mallorca who played all the way from the back. It's Baba who is trying to build up with his team. He plays it over to Kangiri, who simply allows the ball to keep on rolling. And now he plays it all the way back to Valgent, who has a lot of green space in front of him. Nobody's really going up to meet him. He plays it to Jaume Acosta. Now it's Antonio Sanchez. Once again, Jaume Acosta. He plays it back to Bataglia. Once again, Baba. Baba having a lot of time and space. He finally opens up the pitch to Russo. So right now, both center backs of Mallorca are trying to really get up the pitch and trying to win a little bit more of space for their side. Right now, it's a foul by Kangin Lee against Ricky Puig. Both players have basically the same kind of physical traits. Both are really small. They're really accurate. They're really elusive. I'm sorry. And right now, Kagili with a little bit of a foul after an excessive tackle against Ricky Puig. Right now, it's
Like,
yep. Sorry, go ahead, Oliver.
sorry. Clearly, I was going to say Mallorca, like missing more essentially technique and more talent and more creativity in midfield. They have more industrious players. Also, even the striker Angel Rodriguez is a bit more hardworking than he is technical. It's probably just Kangin Lee and Dani Rodriguez that are a bit more, well, a bit different. Should we? Well, I don't know if you talk about that in the first half, but they have Take Kubo, the former Barca player, well, in the youth system, now belonging to Real Madrid. He probably could be the most talented player in the squad, but he has also COVID.
Yep. I didn't really mention Kubo as I did see that he was out of any sort of competition because he did contract COVID. Right now, Barcelona are trying to go into the counter attack. I'm sorry for cutting off like that, but right now it's Jutla who's going into the attack. He's being tackled by Maffeo, but he does win the ball fair and square against the Catalan attacker. And now it's once again Maffeo on the right side. He's trying to send his team into the attack. He sends a good cross into the middle in direction of Angel Rodriguez. But right now, Gerard Piqué is simply being really smart and being really quick to react to whenever the ball is near him and at the feet of the player of Mallorca. And he won it very well for Barcelona. Right now, it's Frenkie Young and Eddie Garcia, a little bit of keep up between the two. And Nico Gonzalez so far not having the best match so far, I think. But so far, but I mean, he is a key part of this midfield for Barcelona, especially in this second part of the season. And let's hope that he will continue to go in this match and throughout the whole season. Right now,
Yeah, to be fair, he should have been booked in the first half. He committed a lot of fouls, and he's not playing at his best. He's doing a lot of dirty work there in the midfield, though, and that's crucial for the team.
Yep. He's one of those players that actually runs a lot, wins a lot of balls. But as you said, I think so far he's still lacking a little bit of maturity because he does commit a lot of fouls. Right now, it's Frenkie Young who was trying to find Oscar Mingueza. Nevertheless, he does loses the ball after a faulty pass, but Barcelona wins it back quickly after Gerard Piqué intercepts it. And now it's a throw in for Barcelona on the right side after Elias was trying to get away from, I think, Dani Rodriguez in a very smart fashion. It will be a throw in. It's Oscar Mingueza who will be the one to take it. He finally sends it in direction of Luke de Jong, who uses his physicality to really cover the ball. He plays it back once again with Mingueza. Now Mingueza being dispossessed and somehow he wins it back, but now he commits a foul. So Oscar Mingueza gave the throw in. He lost the ball. He recovered it, and then he committed a foul. So Mingueza also a little bit of turbulence in this season. I think last season was better for him, but well, I think he'll have to step up his game if he wants to continue playing for the first team and especially for Barcelona.
Yeah, he saw himself play also already with Xavi as a left back, and that's probably too much for him. He's lest we forget he originally was a centre back. Already moved to the right side because of injury problems and well, Dest and Sergio Roberto not being fully reliable for Koeman. And Xavi tried him on the left flank of the defense, but that's probably too much. I committed a few mistakes. He's like a couple walls apart. Then you move him from his original position, and then you put him on his weaker side, and he's been struggling big time this season.
Yep. Looking really quickly to the comment section, we actually have Charlie Barca who says Luke de Jong knowing he had time in this game and so was under less pressure. Absolutely. I think Luke de Jong understood perfectly that nobody's really on the bench that could really fulfill his role. We know that basically, I don't know, Oliver, half the squad is out with COVID or with injuries. So I think he knows that nobody's going to really come up and take away his spot in this match in particular. But let's see if he can continue to grow. And also, well, let's hope that Barcelona can actually keep on growing in this match. Right now,
I'm sorry, I
it's
wasn't
Nico
saying
who has.
very comfortable defensively, but also it's been a good game for the type of player he is, because Mallorca essentially from the beginning stayed like far back and defended like very deep low, and that's good for him. He didn't have to run, he didn't have to get like any spaces in the space. He just had to control the ball, play like back to the goal, right inside the box, and that's a lot more comfortable for him. As he's just like tall, very big, and he's not fast at all.
Yeah, absolutely. So far, as I said before, in the first half, Mallorca is simply just hanging back in the final sector. They're allowing Barcelona to have the bulk of the possession and also the tempo of the match. But once they win the ball back, they will be looking to break quickly into the counterattack and possibly try to win the back of both Eddie Garcia and Gerard Piqué, the center backs. And also, let's remember that today's defense of Barcelona is basically all center backs: Oscar Mingueza, Eric Garcia, Gerard Piqué, and Ronald Araujo. Some of them have a little bit more speed than others, but nevertheless, you can't really compare the speed of a left back or a right back to one of these defenders of Barcelona that have in the pitch for today. Right now, it's Barcelona that have the ball. It's a handball, I think, by Luc de Jong. He had controlled it really well, but it was given a handball by Mateo Laos. Right now, it's Mallorca who are trying to go quickly into the counterattack through Antonio Sanchez, and it was a foul by, I'm not quite sure if it was Elias or Nico Gonzalez. I think it was the first. He was trying, I'm sorry, it was Bataglia who was trying to get into the space quickly, and Elias simply tripped him up enough to force him to go down on ground. Right now, it's once again Antonio Sanchez. He gets away really well from quite a few players. Now he does find Angel Rodriguez, who goes down on the ground, and somehow he covers the ball for one of his teammates to actually recover it. And now a player of Mallorca is down on the ground, and I'm not quite sure if he was given a penalty or no. Mateo Laos is giving the signal that he dived. I'm not quite sure. I think it was Antonio Sanchez. Mateo Laos is giving the signal that he dived, looking to be given a penalty inside of the box of Barcelona. Frenkie de Jong and Eddie Garcia won the ball back really well, and then he simply tried to encourage the referee to give away a foul. And well, I'm not quite sure. I think it was just a natural tussle between a lot of the players, but Antonio Sanchez was looking for a penalty nevertheless, and Mateo Laos did not give it away. VAR will not intervene as the match has already as the ball is already rolling yet again. But well, something to keep an eye on for the defense of Barcelona. As I said before, neither of the four are really that agile or really that quick reacting in the tight spaces. So they will have to be really careful in those kind of 1v1s against the attackers. He comes.
Very agile position. That's I mean what Barcelona only the only players Barcelona has available, and well,
Yep.
that's the circumstances they have to play with. Probably it would be important to have some help covering spaces from the midfielders. It's important that Ricky Puig also helps defensively, because usually De Jong and Nico are always there, but it's probably all three of them that should help lend a hand when Mallorca has the ball.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask you, but right now it's a foul once again for Barcelona. It's not really close to the edge of the box, but once again it will be a good opportunity for Frankie to actually send a good cross. It's Frankie who's getting ready. He takes a shot in direction of Ricky. Ricky opens up the pitch, and here comes a cross in the direction of quite a few players. Gerard Piqué is asking for a handball by a defender of Mallorca, but I think it actually hit the private parts of that defender. I'm not quite sure who it was. I think it's Bataglia, I'm not quite sure who it was. It was Russo or Bataglia. It is Bataglia. But it was once again a good opportunity, as I said before, something that you didn't really see in the past few years. Barcelona being a danger in the aerial duels, but something that has changed as we now see Ronald Araujo, Oscar Mingueza, and even Gerard Piqué in good positioning themselves well to actually win those kind of headers. And I was going to ask you, Oliver, who would you think that could actually be a player of Barcelona to jump on the pitch, knowing the substitutes? Because basically they just have defense: Clement Lenglet, Umtiti, Comas, Jaime, Medina, and Sanz basically from the middle of the field. And that's it for Barcelona.
Well, usually it's players at the midfield and up front that suffer more tiredness, or maybe like on the side of the defense. But I wouldn't. I think these four defenders are playing well now. They're having a good game, so probably wouldn't bring Lenglet or Umtiti on. But one player that could probably be of assistance is Stanislao Pedrola, like youth player that could play in the three positions up front. That probably could be a bit, well, could bring fresher legs because Barcelona are pressuring quite high, and that probably is going to wear down some of the players. Remember, Jugla is probably not used to playing games or the whole game at this level. Luke De Jong hasn't done so in a long while, so it probably could be a good card to play, Stanislas Pedrola.
Yep.
But then Mika Marmol is probably also a good player to put on either side of the defense. Although if he's a centre back, he's probably a bit more agile than Mingueza or Araujo, or maybe just sub out Eric Garcia and play Araujo in the centre and Mika Marmol on either side. There's a few changes we could have at some point.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have to see what Xavi actually determines as we see the first set of changes for Mallorca. Two substitutions are getting ready to jump on the pitch, and they will do so right now. I think it will be. I'm not quite sure. I'll confirm in just a few seconds. It is Angel
Inigo
Rodriguez.
Galarreta, I think is, yeah.
It's Nino who is getting ready to jump on the pitch, and as well as Íñigo Ruiz de Galarreta.
Yeah.
So Íñigo and Nino, both with Yen, are on the pitch, and we'll see if they can actually have a good impact on the match for Mallorca. And as I was going to say before, we'll have to see what Xavi actually sees and analyzes from this match, and who are the substitutes that should be taken into consideration. Right now, it's
Niño is known from Villarreal. Is a good striker, more technical than Angel, but is very young. He had a good start of the season, but he kind of his performance levels of the minutes, like through throughout the games. And Ruiz de Galarreta, this is a funny fact. He played for Barcelona's B team one season when he was already a bit of a veteran. But he was supposed to be very technical, but had a lot of injury problems in his career and never quite reached his full potential.
Well, there you have it. Once again, Oliver giving us all those fun facts from a lot of players of Spanish football. Right now, as you were saying that, a player of Mallorca was actually asking for a foul by Elias. I think it was against Jaume Costa. And a little bit of confusion because Barcelona was actually almost in a good position to go into the counterattack after Mateo Laos allowed the play to continue on. And right now, it will be a throw in for Barcelona. We have reached the 62-minute mark. So 1 hour has been played in this half. Barcelona is still leading 1-0 thanks to Luke de Jong and his incredible header in which he beat Manolo Reina, who simply slipped. Right now, whereas Pablo Maffeo, who's going into the counter attack, he leaves the ball with Kangili. Kangili cuts back into the middle. He sends in a good cross. Nevertheless, I think Antonio Sanchez didn't really control it really that well with his chest. And now he has to go all the way back to Franco Russo. And Russo in turn decides to go all the way over to Nino. Nino tries to open up the pitch all the way to the right side, but it isn't really that accurate, that kind of long pass. And it falls to the safe hand of Marc-André Tessin, who hasn't really been tested today. But I think he will be relieved to see that not the first shot on target against him was the goal. And that's something, a psychological aspect of the match and of the game that will be really positive for Ter Stegen. Right now, it's
lately. He gets too many. I think he was around over 40% of the shots on goal were actually goals at the end eventually, and that was one of the highest rate in the 5 major leagues in Europe.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. One of those stats that as a goalkeeper you don't really want to have, but he did have it for quite a bit of the first half of this season. And Well, right now, so far, as I said before, Barcelona are still leading 1-0 against Mallorca. And Barcelona, I think, are trying to regain the tempo and the bulk of the possession because they did allow Mallorca to grow a little bit in these past few minutes. But right now, it's the defeat of Gerard Piqué. He has a lot of space on both edges, and he decides to go to the left. He finds Araujo. He's inside of the box. He's trying to get away from Pablo Maffeo, and he does get away. He sends in a cross. It's a little bit low, but it will be. I'm not quite sure what happened. I think Araujo found Pablo Maffeo when he's trying to get away from him. I'm not quite sure if he used his physicality too much. We know that Araujo is really strong physically, and well, Pablo Maffeo is simply just a little bit small, to say it in a nice way. So the difference in physicality is quite big. And right now, it's yet again another foul this time by Elias, who I think has committed 2 or 3 in the second half, once again against Jaume Costa. And Elias has to really be smarter than that because he will see the yellow card if he doesn't bring it down just a little bit.
Yeah, well, Maffeo is one of those pure full backs, like right back, very quick. He was on loan in Spain in Girona, and he was a very promising youngster from the Manchester City youth system, because Girona has an agreement with Manchester City as an affiliate club. And he really stood out. And then he got sold to the Bundesliga. I think it was Stuttgart, but it didn't quite work for him. So he's back in the league. But eventually, Manchester City, if I remember correctly, also gave up on him.
Yep, I do remember him from FIFA. I think FIFA 13 being one of those young promises. But right now he's at Mallorca. He is having a good match so far, but he hasn't really been able to get past Ronald Araujo in his offensive duties. And right now it's Mallorca that once again are trying to go into the attack. This time it's Canguilí on the right. He has Pablo Maffeo to his left, and he decides to go to him. Here comes the cross by Pablo Maffeo, but yet again Ronald Araujo simply wins it against him. But it will be a corner kick in the end for Mallorca. And as I was saying, Maffeo is having a good match so far, but I think Ronald Araujo is simply outclassing him in the defensive side of this match so far. This is the third corner kick for Mallorca, 3 for each time, for each side. I'm sorry. And right now, Oscar Minguez is grabbing really tightly Nino, and let's hope that it's nothing too serious. It's a good cross, but it falls in the end to Riqui Puig. Now it's being tried to get away from all the players of Barcelona. Basically, in the end, it's all given away by Mateo Laos after he's given a foul in favor of Barcelona. I think I'm not quite sure if it was Russo or Bataglia who was actually asking for a handball by a player of the Barcelona defense. A lot of confusion on the defensive side of the Cules. Eddie Garcia was simply in an incredible tussle to win the ball, and then it hit Gerard Piqué on his right hand, but he was simply just too. I think he was simply too close to that play to actually react in time and get his hand away. But nevertheless, it is a free kick for Barcelona and for Macandete Stegen. Right now, it's a throw-in yet again for Mingueza after a bit of a tussle against Dani Rodriguez. Right now, he's looking for one of his teammates. Nico Gonzalez slips and he's getting up. He decides to go in the end to Luc de Jong, who's using his physicality really well. He finds Riqui Puig. He connects yet again with a Dutch attacker, and now he leaves it to Ronald Araujo. Araujo has Jutla on his left. He decides to go to him. Jutla cuts back to the middle. He finds Riqui. Riqui goes even further back, this time with Eric Garcia. It's now Frenkie de Jong. Now Puig. A little bit of keep ball between the midfielders and the defense of Barcelona. And the Mallorca players are simply running in circles, trying to get the ball back for their side, and so far not really being that successful. Right now, it's Gerard Piqué. Piqué trying to, I think, find Luc de Jong. A little bit of miscalculation by Franco Russo, the center back, because I think he was trying to head it out of any sort of danger. And in the end, he hit it just in the direction of Manolo Reina. Reina decides to get the ball away as far away as he can. It's an aerial duel between Nino and Gerard Piqué. The Catalan defender wins this time. Now it's a little bit of a keep ball. This time between I think it was Luc de Jong and Nico Gonzalez. Once again, Nico, who uses his tactical skills really well to get away from the pressure of three players of Mallorca, and now he wins. Now he wins a foul in favor of his side, and now I think Nico is getting. I'm not quite sure if he's. I think he is injured because he isn't getting up. So Nico Gonzalez is down on the ground. He is grabbing the backside of his. I think of his right calf. I'm not quite sure, but I think I'm not quite sure if it is just a cramp or if it's something a little bit more intense. Let's hope that it's nothing too serious. He has run 8.3 kilometers in this match. Um, Oliver, let's hope that it's nothing too serious, but yet another possible injury in the midfield of Barcelona. Um, what
What
can
should
we
we do?
say at this point?
What should we do? No. Let's hope. Let's hope it for the best. But we're already resorting to players that are like 17, 18 years old. So probably not many more cards we can play there. Complicated. If it's an actual injury, if it's a cramp, we probably can play through it. If it's something else, there's very limited options Xavi could have. Maybe Guillem Jaume.
I think actually he is getting up, and I think he will be able to continue. Right now, Antonio Sanchez for Mallorca is getting off, and Mbola is coming on. So another striker for Mallorca is coming on the pitch, and
And
Kakini also.
another former player of Barcelona's youth system, Jordi Mbola.
Yep,
Actually,
and
he
also
left for Monaco, and then now he's in Mallorca, but he's before leaving for Monaco, he was I think 16, 17. It's this thing that they kind of buy or trade youth players, and he was in Barca's youth system for a while.
And I think actually, as we look to the match, Nico Gonzalez won't be able to continue. Alvaro Sanz will be the player to substitute him. So luckily for Xavi, he hasn't violated that law in which basically he can play more than four youth system players, I believe. So at least that for Barcelona. But Nico Gonzalez yet again injured. Well, another midfielder injured for Barcelona, and let's hope that it's nothing too serious. 20 minutes. No, I mean 20 minutes remaining in this match, and Barcelona still leading just 1-0. I think Barcelona should be looking for the second one to just end the match and don't really have that pressure anymore. We look really quickly to the comments. We have Jay once again that says, "Do you guys think any transfer action will happen with Dembele? What do you think Xavi wants? What would you like?" Jay, just we'll talk about this if you want at the end of the match, just so we don't take a lot of time because I know Oliver has a lot of opinions on this, and I know that we could actually take a long time discussing it. So we'll leave it to the end of the match so we don't really neglect the live reaction. Right now, it's actually Pablo Maffeo who's going up the pitch. He's going really quickly. Somehow, Ronald Araujo really got back to intercept him, and now a really faulty shot off by one of the players of Mallorca. Mbola, somehow gets back into a good position to win it back. He's trying to get away from two players. It's Jutla and Ronald Araujo. He cuts back into the middle. He's looking for one of his teammates. He finds Nino. Once again, Mbola trying to go into the attack. But this time, Ronald Araujo simply decides to get the ball away as quickly as he can. And I think an offside flag is given in favor of Barcelona. But as I was saying before, I think Barcelona should be looking to have that security goal and go for the 2-0 and not just have all this pressure on them mounting for the final minutes of the match, because we all know that Barcelona can have those laps, those periods of time in which they simply allow too much of the opposition.
Yeah, they've been very solidly today, we must say. But I agree. I mean, it's of course easier said than done. But if we can go in for the second goal and a bit of like a more tranquil end of the game, would be much better. Especially because you have a lot of young players. Not only that the team is not consistent or hasn't been consistent this year, but you have a lot of young players that could kind of crumble a lot more under those circumstances than seasoned veterans.
Absolutely. Right now, actually, Nino was trying to get quickly into the attack, in favor of his team. He got away from actually two players of Barcelona in the end. Luckily for the Barcelona defense, a lot of the players actually reacted in time. But right now they gave it away once again, and he goes all the way to Mbula. Mbula with a good cross, but it falls to the safe hands of Ter Stegen. As I was saying, Barcelona can't really give away any options to the opposing side because they can't really create a lot of danger. And right now, Riqui Puig actually gave it away in two opportunities, so something to keep an eye out. Right now, it's Alvaro Sanz who has the ball. He cuts back into the back, and now the ball will leave the pitch. And I think now Oscar Mingueza is the player who is injured of Barcelona. So yet another injury on this Barcelona side. Oscar Mingueza is down on the ground, and he's asking for his teammates to actually stretch his legs. So, Oliver, yet again, what do we do when this happens?
Probably now it's good. If he has to leave the pitch, it's probably good Lenglet then coming on. But I'm assuming this is, well, Mingueza has played more on the sides, but these things can happen because he usually has very different efforts when playing when on the pitch, and well, because of these circumstances, he's been forced to play many times this season out of position, and like we mentioned, on the left flank, and he's probably pushing his body to different efforts. I don't know, but this is actually very bad luck because having two players having crashed when you have like most of the possession, so it's your rival that's done most of the running. It's not common at all, especially not in a Barca game that you usually can have like 70% of the position.
Absolutely. Right now, you were right. Clement Lenglet is on the pitch for Barcelona, so he will be occupying that left back position. And now Ronald Araujo will be the right back for Barcelona. As things stand, I don't want to really jinx it, but as things stand, Barcelona right now is fifth in La Liga. They have gone over Real Sociedad and Rayo Vallecano, so they are closer to their goal of being in the Champions League positions for next season. We know it's a long shot for them to actually win La Liga, but it is an objective that they do have to accomplish because simply they're Barcelona. They can't go one season or 1 year without Champions League. So right now, I don't want to jinx it, but right now Barcelona are in a better position than they were before this match. And right now, it's actually Mallorca who are trying to get away from the high pressure of Barcelona and the attacker they're trying to establish. Right now, it's a defeat of I'm sorry, I think it was Alvaro Sanz. Now he plays it back. It's a defeat of Ronald Araujo. Now Ter Stegen. He plays it to the left with Eric Garcia. Now Frenkie de Jong. A little bit of keep ball between the defense of Barcelona. And as you were saying, Oliver, basically Mallorca are doing all the running at the moment. But well, let's hope that they can actually change it up a little bit, Barcelona, and go into the attack. Because in the past few minutes, that hasn't really been the case. Right now, it's Alvaro Sanz who plays it really back and really well back. Now he opens up the pitch to the left with Jutla. Jutla all alone against Maffeo. He cuts back into the middle. He gets away really well from the left back. Now somehow they almost found Luc de Jong. Once again, it falls to the feet of Jutla. He opens up the pitch to Elias. Elias trying to get away, but this time he loses the possession. And right now, it's Jaume Costa simply decides to get the ball away as far away as he can to not really lose it in a compromising position. And now it's a defeat of Ter Stegen yet again. So Barcelona are basically defending themselves with the possession of the ball. They're not really allowing Mallorca to have any more of that possession. And well, let's hope that the substitutes of Barcelona have really come on to have a positive impact for the team. Right now, it's actually
there's a lot of tiredness in Barcelona's players, as we mentioned. They're young, probably not used to playing at this level for this many minutes. That includes also Riqui Puig, who is a fully grown member of the first team, but he usually doesn't play.
I'm sorry, but right now, I'm sorry, Oliver, but right now it's Elias who is inside of the box. He cuts back into the middle, and now he takes his shot off, but it falls to the safe hands of Manolo Reina. I thought he was in a better position where he was going to take off a better shot, but nevertheless, the goalkeeper of Mallorca simply had to catch it. But it was a good attempt by Elias, And now a foul by a player of Barcelona, I think it was Jutla, against Pablo Maffeo. And now Maffeo is clearly not happy with it. Jutla is trying to give him his hand and trying to tell him that he's sorry, but Maffeo is clearly not happy with that tackle. And I think the attacker of Barcelona will see the yellow card. Um, he did just simply want to trip him up, but also Alvaro Sanz was ready to take the ball away from him. But clearly, Maffeo is not happy with that kind of tackle on him. And so a yellow card against Chutla. Right now, it's Jaume Costa, the player who has the ball. He cuts back into the middle, and now he plays it over to Ruiz de Galarreta. Once again, it's Bataglia. Bataglia looking for a play, pass between the lines. He isn't really that successful, and it's cut back for Luke de Jong, played by Frenkie. And now Luke de Jong almost with a good pass, looking for Jutla with a long pass. Nevertheless, he was fouled, the Dutch striker, and it will be a foul in favor of Barcelona as we edge the 80-minute mark. Just 11 minutes remaining, approximately, and we'll have to see how many more changes Xavi actually makes, as we see now another player of Barcelona getting ready to jump on the pitch. I think it's Ilias, the player who will be getting off, and Estanis will be the player to come on the pitch for Barcelona. Yet another player who receives his first few minutes in the first team of Barcelona this season. And well, let's hope that Estanis can have a night to remember for his first minutes for the first team of Barcelona.
Yeah, and we should be careful with injuries because this is going to be the third substitutions break we have. So even though you can go up to 5 subs, you only can have like 3 breaks, and of course halftime doesn't really count as one. But we did the 3 of them after halftime, and if there's another injury now, there's only a few minutes left, so it's not very likely. But if there was another injury now, Barcelona wouldn't be able to change the player.
And you're absolutely right. Right now, Jaime Costa was trying to rip the ball away from the hands of Ronald Araujo. He was in a tussle. He's clearly smaller than the Uruguayan defender, but he was simply in a raging. He was like a raging bull. Right now, the throw-in doesn't really come to anything for Mallorca. It's going to leave the pitch, and I think it will be in favor of Mallorca yet again after the defense of Barcelona was trying to get it away from it, trying to get it away from their own box as far as possible. But I was going to say, basically, right now, Barcelona would have to wait for Mallorca to use another substitution, and then they could also make it one. But as you were saying, right now, Barcelona can actually make another substitution unless the match is stopped by the other team. Right now, it's Clement Lenglet who basically sends flying the attacker of Mallorca. This time he sent flying Mbola, who was tracking him down to do his defensive duties. But nevertheless, Clement Lenglet simply used too much physicality to it. Right now, it's Luke de Jong in a good position to actually get into the attack. He was simply tracked down by a player, and then he was deemed offside. But a lot of movement on both sides of the pitch right now, as we obviously see Mallorca trying to get on the scoreboard, and we also see the Barcelona players either trying to waste as much time as they can, or simply trying to get into a good position to score the second one and just send this game to sleep. Right now, it's Ter Stegen who is trying to find Stanis actually for one of his first touches of the ball. Right now, he's in a competition against a player of Mallorca, and now he wins the ball, but now he loses it after a faulty pass. Right now, a little bit of a tussle between two players. One player of Mallorca, and Frenkie de Jong. I'm not quite sure who it was, but once again, Jaume Costa is not happy at all. He's letting Mateo Laos know his opinions, and now he does see the yellow card after Mateo Laos has had enough of the left back of Mallorca. Mateo Laos Jaume Costa is simply raging right now. He's not really thinking anything through, and he's just giving away Barcelona the opportunity to make him explode even more. Right now, it will be a free kick. It will be Dani Rodriguez, the player who will take it. It's not really that close to the box of Barcelona, but nevertheless, it will be an opportunity for them to send in a good cross. Here comes the free kick, and it is a header, and it goes just over the top of Marcandete's taking goal. I'm not quite sure who was the header, but I think it was Nino. Nino almost scored an incredible goal against Ter Stegen. I'm not sure if he was offside. I don't think he was, but it was almost an incredible goal by Mallorca. It was Imbola. I'm sorry. Imbola was the one who almost had a good contact on the ball, but it goes just a little bit high of the goal of Marcandete said. I think of all the Cules were with a sigh of relief. And right now, another substitution has been made. Bataglia is off, and Prats, the number 9, is on for Mallorca. So basically, no midfielders for Mallorca anymore, and just attackers. We'll see how this shapes up exactly for the local side, and how Barcelona also fares with this kind of tactical change by Mallorca for their own defensive duties. Right now, it's once again Jaume Costa. He has to play it back to Valjean, and now over to over to Nino. And once again, it's Russo. He opens up the pitch to Maffeo. And right now it's Dani Rodriguez. Basically, Dani Rodriguez has been asked to play as a midfielder and be the link between the defense and the attack. So a lot of movements tactically. As we look yet again to the comment section, it's Jay. How much time left? We're just, I think, like 5 minutes away from reaching the 90 minutes, but possibly they'll be adding 3 or 4 minutes because of all the substitutions and both injuries on the Barcelona side. Let's hope that Barcelona can actually fare well against the remaining time. Right now, it's Stanis who commits the foul against a player of Mallorca. Stanis was simply trying to win the ball back, but I think he simply contacted with a lot of with too much intensity Jaume Costa, who clearly is once again angry, but he's not really expressing it anymore because he knows that he could see the second yellow card and because of it. So all of our intensity, and we're in for quite a few minutes for these final ones. I'm sorry to cutting you off. Here comes the cross once again. It's basically the same direction as the past one. It's Jaume Costa, the one player. It's a player of Mallorca who sends in a good cross, but it will be a goal kick in favor of Barcelona. After yet again, I think this time it is Nino who won that header, but it was nowhere near any sort of danger of the Barcelona defense. But I was going to say, Oliver, quite a few minutes we have remaining in this match, and what do you expect will happen?
Well, seeing the chance of the game, Mallorca is going to try to push forward somehow because they have very little creativity. Maybe Íñigo Ruiz de Galarreta, and then there's probably going to be a lot of process to the box and see if they can snatch a loose ball or a header and try to get an equalizer there, because we saw Abdon Prats coming on, as you mentioned, who was like a hero in Mallorca because he scored the decisive goal one of the last 2 times they got back to the first division, and he's essentially a poacher there in the box, just trying to get balls and lose balls and try to score. He cannot bring anything else to the table. So probably the game they're gonna play is just like send balls to the box somehow and see what happens. But Barcelona should be prepared. Luckily, I mean, probably it may play to our favor to the fact that we have 4 centre backs on the pitch. They're usually taller and better in the air than I don't know, Dest or Alba.
Absolutely. Right now, Barcelona actually have the ball on the side of Mallorca. Right now, it's Jutla. He has the ball. He's simply trying to hide it away from Maffeo. He plays it over to Alvaro. Alvaro now tries to play it back over to Longley, but he loses it to Mbola. But now the French defender wins it back, but now he loses it after a faulty pass, looking for Ricky Puig. And now Ruiz de Galarreta cuts back into the middle. He opens up the pitch all the way to the right side with Maffeo. Once again, Ruiz de Galarreta. Now he's looking for a long pass. He has one of his teammates, but Gerard Piqué simply wins the possession well. And now it's Abdon who commits a foul on him. And quite a few seconds now will be lost after we see the veteran defender of Barcelona trying to waste as much time as he can. Abdon I think was trying to win the ball. He was trying to stretch his leg, trying to control it, but Gerard Piqué simply got in between him. And now Abdon Prats actually sees a yellow card. I think he's been in. I think he's just had like one or two contacts with the ball, and now he has seen the yellow card after that tackle against Gerard Piqué. And now we're at 88 minutes and 30 seconds, just a few minutes away from Barcelona actually winning a crucial match in this La Liga title race. Uh, Gerard Piqué is trying to waste as much time as he can. He's finally up on his feet. He's jumping up and down a little bit as in pain, but I don't think he really is. He's just simply trying to fake it as much as he can. Right now, it's Ter Stegen who simply tried to get the ball away as far away as he can. It's Mbola who heads in the direction of Abdon. Once again, Mbola trying to cover up the ball. Now I think he does draw a foul in favor of his team after both Eddie Garcia and Frenkie Young were the players who were trying to tussle him out of the possession. And now Mbola is giving indications to Pablo Maffeo, telling him what to do exactly. But it will be yet another opportunity for Mallorca to send in a good cross. It's nowhere near as close as the other ones, but they will be looking for a header, I think. I think it's Dani Rodriguez, the player who will be the one to take it. He's getting ready. Quite a few players of Mallorca, and basically the whole team of Barcelona are defending. Here comes the cross. It's nowhere really near. It falls to Mbola, who's inside of the box. It's cleared by Gerard Piqué. It will be a corner kick. But once again, Gerard Piqué coming to the rescue for Barcelona after Mbola, after a little bit of deflection, got the ball to him, and it will be a corner kick for the Cules. I mean, for Mallorca, and the Cules will have to be really on top of their match. Here comes the cross. It almost found one of the players of Mallorca is finally cleared by the players of Barcelona. And once again, sent in by a long pass into the box. Right now, Ricky Puig loses the aerial duel. Right now, it's Jaume Costa. He has to play it back all the way to Llabres. And now Llabres has to play it even further back. Right now, it's Rodriguez. Rodriguez has to play it to the left with Ruiz Galarreta. Ruiz Galarreta cuts back into the middle. Now he's trying to find, I think, Abdon. But both Araujo and Frenkie simply win that duel, and defensive duty simply being incredible. Once again, Rodriguez trying to send in a good cross. It's not really nowhere near any player of Mallorca. Right now, a player of Mallorca is down on the ground. Pablo Maffeo takes a good shot, but it's really deflected by the defense. Now Mbola trying to get away from two defenders of Barcelona. Is Clement Inglés, who is all over him, and Luke de Jong, who is also aiding his teammate. Right now, it's another cross, this time by Pablo Maffeo to the second post, and it's a credible header. But Marc-André Stegen saves it on the line for Barcelona. An incredible attempt by Mallorca, who sent in an incredible cross to the second post. And right now, it's Marc-André Stegen, the hero for Barcelona. And right now, finally, Mateo Laos gives a foul in favor of Barcelona, but Marc-André Stegen saves Barcelona just basically on the edge of goal. Incredible attempt by, I think it was Costa. I'm not quite sure if it was Costa. Oliver, yes, it was Costa. Yes. And somehow with his right arm, Marc-André Stegen saves his team just on the edge of goal. And now Gerard Piqué even comes to his goalkeeper and even kisses him. Right now, a tussle breaks out on the pitch. A player of Barcelona is down on the ground in pain. I think it's Jutla, or I'm not quite sure who it was, but I think it was Pablo Maffeo, the player of Mallorca, who is clearly angry and was very intense. And now Gerard Piqué coming over to the Spanish right back and telling him to calm down. I'm not quite sure who it was or what happened. I think it's Alvaro. Alvaro received clearly. Alvaro was pushed off by, I think it's Rodriguez, and then Pablo Maffeo arrived late to the scene and then started shoving Clement Inglés, who came to aid his teammate. So 92 minutes, almost 93 minutes have been played. Mateo Laos will probably have to show quite a few yellow cards in this match, in this point, but we'll have to see what actually happens. Clearly, all the players of Mallorca are in desperate mode, especially after that final save by Marc-André Stegen. They'll be really angry that they can't really, that they're not really on the scoreboard. Mateo Laos has shown 2 yellow cards, I think, to Clement Lenglet and Pablo Maffeo. And
And
93
Dani
minutes.
Rodriguez as well.
And Rodriguez as well. Thank you, Oliver. So 93 minutes have been played. I think another minute after that aggression, but I think the Mallorca manager knows that his team is just basically out of it unless some sort of miracle happens. Right now, it's Frenkie de Jong who loses the ball. Now, Ronald Araujo uses physicality to win a tussle, and now basically the whole of Mallorca is getting ready to send in after basically for a Hail Mary, looking for a goal. Right now is Martin Valgent. He opens up the pitch. He's looking over to Ruiz de Galarreta. And now he loses it against Estanis. And now it's Luke Young, who's in a good position to actually send his team into the attack. He loses the aerial duel against Valgent. And it will be a throw-in for Barcelona, who are simply taking as much time as he can. We have reached the 94-minute mark. Basically, I think one more minute will be played. Xavi's asking the referee to simply just end the match. Araujo sends in a long cross in direction of Jutla. Jutla inside of the box of Mallorca. Now he's simply trying to cover the ball as well as he can. And now he has won a foul in favor of his team. Incredible intelligence by Jutla. And I think now he is suffering from cramps of his own. Russo, I think he simply gave away any sort of possibility for his team because he gave away a foul in which Barcelona can waste as much time as he can, and they're simply as far away as they could ask for from their own box. And so it is I think game over for Mallorca. What would you think, Oliver?
I don't think they're gonna get another shot because the game should be over within a few seconds. Hopefully they don't, because that save by Ter Stegen was a miracle, and I don't think he'll be able to pull out another one.
Yep. Right now, Martin Valgent has seen the yellow card. Both Jutla and Luke de Jong are basically together on this. Now Luke de Jong receives the ball. Now it's going to basically cover it as well as he can, just on the edge of the pitch. He's using his physicality as well as he can to just waste as much time as he can. Now it will be a throw-in finally for Mallorca. We have played 95 minutes and 46 seconds. They go with a throw-in direction of their team, of their goalkeeper, Manolo Reina. Now it's Pablo Maffeo. Running basically as fast as he can, going into the attack. He finally plays it over to Mbola, who is being anticipated by Clement Lenglet. And now a foul by the French defender against Mbola. And now I'm not quite sure, but I think quite a few players of Barcelona are actually right now celebrating. And it is the end of the match. Barcelona has won 1-0 against Mallorca. An incredible match by Barcelona. A lot of emotions. Barcelona basically just winning thanks to the miracle saved by Marc-André ter Stegen. So I didn't jinx it. Barcelona right now, as things stand in LaLiga table, are fifth and are just 1 point behind fourth place Atletico Madrid. Also, 2 behind Real Betis. So a really good opportunity for Barcelona to actually get the ball rolling in their favor and get the tempos going. And well, the best, let's hope. Before we actually go into anything else, Oliver, I think we owe it to Jay because he has stayed with us to answer his questions. I don't know, Oliver, which one do you prefer to ask? I'll tell you both of them. He asked us, do you guys think any transfer action will happen with Dembélé? What do you think Xavi wants? What would you like? And the second one is a win. Thank you for the commentary, guys. Same transfer question for Des. Should he stay or go? I hope he stays. Which one do you want to answer first, Oliver?
Well, let's go with Des. No, it's probably the less usual now. It seems Dembélé apparently is not going to renew. That kind of took over the whole news scheme of Barcelona. Serginho Dest, I don't know. I'm kind of caught in two minds because I think he still has the potential. We can use him, but if the offers coming from the previous Premier League that were mentioned in the news or in social media are true, like between 30 and 40 millions from, I don't know, Chelsea or whatever, I think we should probably take it given the current circumstances. He's not a player I would actively try to sell. but I wouldn't mind probably doing that for that amount. To be honest, what would you do? Because that's a hard one. Because then we probably would lack players on the right flank.
Yeah, I mean, I really like Des Shea. I really like him. I think he's a really good prospect, but I think he's just been really unlucky at Barcelona because he arrived, he was having a good first few months. Then he got injured. He didn't really bounce back from the injury level wise, sporting wise, and I think he's just at that moment which if Barcelona sells him, he won't be missed. But I do think he still has a lot of potential left. Also, we have to take into consideration that a lot of rumors that Marraoui, the right back of Ajax, is set to sign a free deal with Barcelona. So I think it's a complicated one because I do really like this, but as I said before, I think that he's at the point at which if Barcelona actually sell him, nobody's really gonna miss him because nobody really saw what he could have been. He had quite a few months, but then he's just been really up and down. So I'm not quite sure. I think if, as you said, Oliver, I think if 40 million comes to the table, you have to make bank for Haaland because at the end that's the objective of Barcelona. They want to go after a big playmaker like Haaland, and you need all the resources that you can because you know that Mino Raiola is going to ask for quite a few millions of his own. So I think if a Premiership offer comes for 40 million, I take it. Just sign Marraoui for the free, and then you would have Marraoui, Dani Alves, who I think is just more like a mentor at this point, and Sergi Roberto on the right back. But I would hope that Des could stay. But once again, 40 million for Des, I think for this market, it's an incredible offer for Barcelona.
Yeah. Also, I think apparently Sergi Roberto is gonna get renewed. So for a lot, well, for lower wage for lower wages, so he can stay and that would leave some financial fair play, sort of space, budget space for some tradings for like well, Ferran Torres, for instance. So if he stays, probably Dest would have to leave. Because as you said, Masraoui seems practically a done deal for the summer. Even he's not going to the African Cup of Nations with his national team. I think it was Morocco. To try to finish that agreement with Barcelona either for now or for the summer. So yeah, that would make sense. And I'm with you. I like this. I think he's got a lot of talent.
Yeah, Jay also said thanks again. No, thank you, Jay, for tuning in and for all those questions. It's incredible interaction. As always, if you want to keep up to date with everything related to Barcelona,
we still have to talk about Dembélé. Sorry, Joav.
Oh, you're completely right. Let's go over to Dembélé really quickly. So the answer was, do you think any transfer action will happen with Dembélé? What do you think Xavi wants? What would you like? I think Xavi wants him to stay. I think the whole basically Barcelona core wants him to stay. But at this point anymore, I'm not quite sure what they want because I think he has been. I think I don't want to say ungrateful, but I think he hasn't really shown Barcelona much appreciation after everything they've really put up with him. And well, at least I think at this point the relationship is just not there anymore. I think Dembele wants out. I think Barcelona now wants him out. So I think the best thing was just to let him go because you don't really want a player that doesn't want to be in your team. You don't want him there. He's just going to create a lot more havoc or create a negative impact more than a positive one.
What's he going to say? I think he's going to stay in the stand for 6 months. So probably it's for everybody's interest if we can get a deal. I think I read earlier today, yesterday, that it could be some sort of swap deal, and he'd join one of the teams after him, and Barcelona would get one of the players playing for those teams on loan for those 6 months. I think it was Martial from Manchester United. That was a good possibility. That'd be great, and then you have that player for 6 months. No big kind of expenditure committed to for that player, just their wages, which is probably going to be anyway lower than what Dembélé is making at the moment. So it'd be great. And yeah, I mean, the easy one out of those 3 questions is probably that what Xavi wants. Xavi, especially now that everyone's injured, I'm sure he would want him to stay.
Absolutely.
Nothing, but I would try to get rid of him. Yeah, I don't see any any other feasible option, to be honest, at this point.
Yeah, it's a difficult situation. I think Barcelona wants to keep him. Dembele, I'm not quite sure what he wants anymore. But I think the best solution for all of the sides is for him to leave for the remaining 6 months, Barcelona to get another player and then just see what happens after that. I think that would be the best solution. Obviously, it's like a financial, it's a horrible transaction for Barcelona looking back at all these years. But it is what it is. He was the one chosen after Neymar left, and well, yeah. I mean, mistakes were made, but let's hope that it can resolve in the best way for all of the sides. Um,
Let's hope so.
well, as always, if you want to keep up to date with everything related to Barcelona, please be sure to check out this link down below, blaugranagram.com. Uh, please support us on our podcast. We have two podcasts right now, the Spanish one and the English one. Right now, the Driven Shot is a little bit of a pause, but we'll be sure to bring it back as fast as we can. And as always, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for your interaction. Thank you, Jay, for all your interaction and your questions. It's an incredible thing of you. And Oliver, anything else you want to say before we actually leave?
No, I just hope to get another win next week. Well, first of all, hope we can play because apparently this the very latest outbreak is not done yet. So we will see if any games get postponed. But hopefully we can play next week. We can have a game next week because Barcelona will be playing, if I'm right, home. And it'll be a good chance to get another win. Well, first we have like the cup on Wednesday, I think at 7:30 if I remember correctly, and then we're playing Granada. No, it's Granada is away, so a bit of a tougher game. And then the Super Cup, so we have like games every 3 days pretty much.
Yeah.
So let's hope to carry on the good run.
Yep. Let's hope that Barcelona can actually carry on this good run, and well, let's hope that it's a good second half of this season, and let's hope that Barcelona can actually keep up in these gain those Champions League positions and keep them for the remainder of the season. So as always, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for your interactions. Thank you all for everything. For my part, that's it. I hope you all have an incredible week, an incredible first week of this new year. And well, see you next time. And as always, Oliver, also thank you so much for tuning in and helping me with this live coverage.
Thank you. It was a